the Morning Brew with friends. We got a packed house today on a Monday, and we got our buddy Greg Frost back in the studio. We also have our friend Russell Coombs from West talking about entrepreneurship. Friends from Gold Street have a surprise for us, and I'm going to be learning how to do some martial arts stuff from our friends at the Blend Academy of Martial Arts, all in the Morning Brew with friends. Been a minute since we had our buddy Greg Frost on. You've been
for 3 weeks.
You've been traveling. We had a holiday in there. There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, a hiatus.
Yes,
3 weeks in a row.
Right. So it's good to have you back.
Thanks. I hope I can still remember what to do.
I think we both have. We got notes here. That's what the show notes are for. First things first, we're gonna kick it off with the headlines on the Morning Brew. It's brought to us by our friends at the Tony and Guy Hairdressing Academy. And first things first, you said the Lobos won on Saturday.
They did.
That is awesome. They're 1-0 now in conference play.
They're 1-0. They're leading the board.
That's
They're
awesome.
That
is amazing.
Yeah.
And 1-0 in conference play. Were they 3-0?
2-2.
2-2. Okay. 2-2. 2-2 for the season. Yeah. And I think people forget you were a Lobo football player yourself.
I was very forgettable.
you were a linebacker, running back,
yes,
linebacker.
Yeah.
And so you know how hard it is, how hard it is to actually play the game at that level.
It's very hard, and teams that lose work so much harder than the teams that win.
Is that true?
Oh, it's demoralizing when you lose and you got to get up on Monday morning and hit it again, and the practices are always tougher. So I'm really happy that the kids won one and won one in conference play. That's big.
That is big, yeah, because that sets them off, at least in conference play,
right?
To at least not be nearly as bad as they were before.
No, I think the team's improving. I'm very excited about the team. I predict they're going to go 6-6 for the season and defend in the New Mexico Bowl.
Okay, I'm writing that down right now.
Write it down.
Greg says 6-6.
6-6.
Lobos and
play in the New Mexico Bowl.
All right, today's September 28th.
Yeah.
Okay.
All day.
All day. Okay, we're writing that down, and that way, when we will find out at the end of the season, we'll keep this back here.
I'm willing to go out.
All right. Well, first things first on headlines this morning. The Supermoon. Did you see this last night?
Yes.
It was amazing. I was out for this. It was the blood moon, as it were, and it was just. I was out just walking my dog in the neighborhood and watching it, and everybody was out in the neighborhood. It was beautiful. It was a great night for it too. There won't be another one of these until 2033. So
I'll probably miss that one.
It's only 18 years away, Greg. You'll be around. And then, speaking of UNM, the school is now one of the fastest growing universities in the nation. I love this.
It's amazing how many kids. If you think about the combination of UNM and CNM in this town, we have 50,000 college students in this town.
People don't realize we're a college town, really.
Yes, we really
10% of our population is in school. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing in some ways, but I think it's a good thing.
Well, I think it's good. It's a developing thing.
Right.
So it's going to be good.
Right. Yes, because eventually those 50,000 people will learn stuff, go out in the workforce, make us smarter, right? Right. And then this is cool. The Door Brewery, one of my favorite breweries in town, is moving downtown. And they are actually going to be putting a tap room in one of my favorite buildings called the Sims Building. This is, you know, the Sims Building.
The old Sims Building.
The old Sims
Once
Building.
The landmark, hallmark building in town.
Right.
Once upon a time.
That's it. And then it got overshadowed by everyone else.
Yeah.
And finally, now we're getting like a brewery district downtown. Take a look at this. We have Dual Brewing, which is planned on 6th and Central. The Bosey Brothers, which I've been to several times, which is great, on 6th and Gold. Tap Room, the Red Door Tap Room going to the Sims Building. The back alley, Chama River Sidetrack. And that's all within the downtown core, which is really great. I love watching that.
That's a whole lot of beer downtown, isn't it? I remember when you used to get picked up by the police for having beer downtown.
Well, I think you still can.
Yeah.
Oh, what I love is that I think all the breweries are now becoming, you know, most of the cities have the neighborhood, the
Pubs.
corner bar,
Yeah.
right? And in Albuquerque, we're now getting the corner brewery.
Yeah, and it's nice. I know in New York you can go into neighborhoods and every other corner is a little gin mill, you know, and it's a place for the locals to hang out.
Right.
It's a part of the community.
Right, and I think the breweries here are certainly becoming that,
Yeah.
which I'm certainly a fan. And it seems like everyone else is a fan of the Pope. He just ended his 6-day tour of the U.S. Yesterday, and it was very cool. Look at just the crowds and the people who were out to see him. It was amazing. And he spoke in Philadelphia, and what I loved about this was he actually used Abraham Lincoln's lectern
Oh, did he
And,
really?
yeah, how cool is that?
That's very cool.
Yeah, when he spoke in Philadelphia yesterday, I thought that was very cool.
Fantastic.
And he talked about basically he talked about how all the freedoms of America were started with that lectern, were started in that place because it was in the same hall they sent the
Independence Hall.
Independence Hall. Yeah. So I think it was very cool.
Yeah.
He's on his way back to Rome now, though, and we'll see if any other changes that
It's amazing at this day and age that the Pope draws the crowds that he does, especially in the United States, because he's been somewhat critical of the United States and of the Catholic population in the United States, and it's taken him to task over the years. But to see the adoration is just amazing to me. I grew up Catholic, so it was always that way, but it hasn't weakened any. It hasn't diluted any.
Well, you and me both did, and I think that when you see guys like Pope Francis out there, he seems to be preaching a different message, something that has been needed, I think, in the church for quite a while. And there was one guy he really did have quite an impact on, and that was John Boehner. He met with John Boehner after he spoke to Congress on Thursday, and then Friday morning, John Boehner says, "Hey, see ya, I'm out. I am no longer going to be the Speaker of the House," just like that.
That was shocking.
It was amazing, yeah. Apparently, though, he was behind-the-scenes stuff kind of started coming out this weekend, and nothing scandalous. It was just that the political atmosphere has changed in the last 6 years since he was
He was losing his support for the Speaker's role.
Absolutely.
I think people are looking for a little bit more of a moderate there that can sit down and talk to the other side and get some kind of a
consensus builders.
Yeah,
I think that's exactly what's going to happen. But one of the interesting things about it now is that Boehner was one of the guys who was talking about trying to shut down the government. And it could have happened this week, but it looks like now, because he resigned, a continuing resolution will be passed and the government will not shut down after all. So that's a relief for a lot of people here in New Mexico, especially when we have the federal labs here.
A lot of government employees.
A ton of government employees, yeah.
Really.
And I think that'll eased a lot of fears of a lot of people.
Absolutely. Well, we saw the ramifications of the last shutdown in the New Mexico market. We saw housing sales just drop. Mortgage applications just drop.
If you think the federal government is going to shut down and you might not have a mortgage payment next month, you're not buying a house.
The uncertainty is overwhelming.
Right. Yeah. That's it. Well, we'll be back in a couple of seconds on the Morning Brew. We're going to talk about some of that, and I want to pick your brain about what the new GDP rates mean, because they spiked in the last quarter.
Did.
So that's pretty cool, I think, right?
Well, it could be.
All right. Well, we'll find out what that means in just a couple of seconds on the Morning Brew with friends.